Okay, let's take a look at Kevin Smith, who played Ares in Hercules and Xena. I love these comparisons from the show that I can make by having multiple types of people next to each other. Makes it more interesting to be able to look at the various features of these people. And with these people together, seems like a biological female, biological male, and a transgendered male to female. So, quickly run over the features: oval face, soft jawline, no pronounced cheekbones, no bulging brow bones, small nose, gentle female eyes, small mouth, sloped shoulders, waist indentation above the navel, curve to the hips, quite small ribcage. Here we have the opposite of that: pronounced cheekbones, strong brow bones, broad jawline, defined, thick neck. You can see some development in the trachea. Shoulders straight across, squared off, unlike this slope. It's a bit bony up here as well. Shoulders have the arms hanging straight down from them because the shoulders are wider than the hips, so the arms hang rather than bend out to the side to accommodate hips. Ribcage looks like it's quite broad and leaving plenty of space, as men have broader rib cages in order to be more physically active than women typically need to, as the childbearing ones. So, I think she's about 5'11", and 5'6" maybe, and I've read he is 6'2", so you would expect a shorter woman to have a somewhat smaller skull than him, but her skull looks the same size as his. Hers looks smaller. So he's got the same features as this male to female, with well, you can't see her brow, but he has a sloped brow and brow bones, pronounced brow bones, pronounced cheekbones, square, strong jaw. You can see his Adam's apple here, and pretty large ears. Looks like they are a bit larger than hers, and hers are actually a bit big for a girl, so. His hands are big as well. If you put a hand on a human face, a female hand on a female head should go to just above the eyebrow, and a male hand on a male head should go up higher to, about the hairline. And his seems to do that. Just look at the length, looks like it would fit. He's also got this portion of the arm looks long, this does as well. He's very built. He has Islander ancestry, and a lot of men from that heritage have they have the propensity to build muscle quite well, from what I've observed. And they often have a larger amount of body fat compared to some other men. So I don't really see that on him, but, he's a quarter Tongan and German, and then the rest English, I believe. So, any curve you're seeing here is not all along the back, it's muscle, just like the curve here is back muscle and shoulder muscle. So, the lower back is straight, looking very male to me. Okay, here much the same. You can see the Adam's apple and the trachea. He's got a very pronounced brow ridge, wide dental arch as well, and wide, smile in general. So, the hands look very male to me as well. Length of the arms. Torso looking very straight. Shoulders look broad. Can't really tell everything with this outfit, but he does have a small widow's peak, which to me isn't a smoking gun because there are some men who have one. So, you know, taking the other features into account, I wouldn't say that immediately makes him suspect. I do love these pictures of her and him because of how they look so drastically different. She looks very soft and female, and he looks very rough and masculine. So something about male faces when they're very masculine like this is they do have pronounced cheekbones and, you know, strong jawlines. And because these bone structures are broad and there's not much body fat on the person, means you often have more pronounced angles and gauntness to a face that female faces don't have. It's a look that's really promoted in female actresses and models these days, and women often feel very self-conscious about having a pretty face with a curve to the cheek and a softness around the jaw, because they want to have a more chiseled, gaunt face like a man, because that's what people are saying women should look like. It's not true. So, I mean, look at, you know, you can look at the faces and then also the hands. Again, he's got really big hands and she's got small hands. You can see his collarbones in the shoulders go straight across. He's got lots of muscle as well, but that is not the slope of a female. He's got the long arms again. See the straight back as well. Okay, another comparison of these two. I do find them very convenient. Extremely convenient. They're even putting the hands right there so you can look at the drastic size difference. And, you know, everything about her limbs is a very female shape, even though she's muscular, and his looks, you know, male. I don't think this really needs much discussion. There's not much of a curve here. It looks very straight and male. Again, she's got the curve, all the bends, and this isn't the same angle, but it's very straight in comparison. See all this sinewy, tendony kind of stuff? On the the FTMs, you often see this kind of look constantly because they're abusing steroids. But on a biological male, when he's not actually putting the muscles in use, they just look, you know, normal. But here, as he's using them, they get all kind of sinewy and defined. But, I mean, for example, here, just looks kind of normal. But I thought this was a good comparison of, you know, everything, all dimensions about these people, how different they are. Broad shoulders. The shape of the pectorals does look natural to me. Here at the side, it begins a kind of more squared off shape. And he's got a very broad chest and wide rib cage. So he just seems very, very masculine to me. Again, you can see shoulders are wider than the hips, and collarbones are defined, and it's kind of slouching here, but they go straight across, and this apparent slope is muscle. The arms look very long as well, and on male bodies, the crotch level is usually about the wrist, on female bodies it's about where the palm begins, so not a huge, resounding difference, but he does have the male appearance. He's also quite hirsute, but that can be achieved by taking hormones, so I don't think I'll use that as a defining feature. It does seem very male overall. The energy in this person's eyes, that kind of energy seems very intense and masculine. Adam's apple, larger ear, square jaw, sloping brow, pronounced brow ridge, high, pronounced cheekbones, everything looking male. And another nice body comparison. It really is useful that in these shows everyone seems to have a difficult time keeping clothes on because it makes it for a great ease in transvestigating them. So her ribs kind of stick out in a weird way because that's a large male rib cage. Body, straight along, male hips down here below the navel. We are seeing the same essential shape here, straight along, straight along. Hands looking about the same size too. His are a little bigger, I think. Skull size about the same, pronounced bone structures, both. With her, it's interesting because she's got softness even though she's also got muscle. So it's interesting that she's got more muscle and yet still looks more feminine than her, who doesn't really have any muscle on the limbs. But imagine if this frame and this body got bulked up, just how huge this person would seem. So it's a necessity to keep these limbs thin, I think. So, yeah. Great picture for energy. Even if you ignore the expressions and just look at the eyes, there's such a difference in energy between these eyes and both of these eyes. She has this very kind of soft, gentle, inviting energy around her in general, and in the eyes. And both of these have this projected, fierce, kind of aggressive energy in the eyes. It's like a challenge, and that's masculine. So, again, shoulder bones be right about here. It is, broader than the hips. Torso straight up and down. Adam's apple. You can see all the facial features we've been discussing once again. Similar skulls, dissimilar skull. Now, Kevin Smith had an untimely demise, so that interested me and I wanted to look into that a little bit more. So looking at his early life, Tongan, German, English descent from New Zealand, seems like he had a pretty normal upbringing. Now, sometimes these early life things, I don't know if I fully believe what they're saying, but, I do believe this one seems believable. So, in 2002, he was preparing for his first Hollywood role in the Bruce Willis action film, Tears of the Sun, and went to China to shoot another film. And during that time, he climbed a prop tower on the set of a film, lost his footing, and fell 3 stories, suffering severe head injuries. Rushed by staff to a hospital, and lapsed into a coma, kept in life support for 10 days, until it was discontinued. That's very interesting to me. I seem to recall reading about this before, and hearing there was something to do with alcohol. But this is interesting to me because he was preparing for his first Hollywood role in a Bruce Willis film where he undoubtedly would have gotten a bit of attention. He gained legions of fans during his filming of Xena and Hercules, and it looked like he was going to go on to have some more success. Now I can't help but wonder, because this person seems like a biological male, can't help but wonder if this suspicious and strange death circumstance was really an accident after all. Perhaps the powers that be were not interested in having a biological male who doesn't seem to have been involved in any kind of satanic activity or any kind of Freemasonry attain any level of recognition. Because as we know, A-list stars mostly seem to be these transgendered individuals. I think that even as late as the early 2000s, like in these shows, there were still some quite famous people who were natural gendered. I don't know how many there are now, especially the young people, the younger generation coming up that are getting to be famous. Most of them seem to be transgendered. But in earlier years, there were some more naturally gendered people, and with a birth date of 1963, fits into a time period when I'm more inclined to believe that there were fewer of them. So, I wonder, was it because he was going to have success as a biological male, and they didn't want that? So, that's my opinion. Kevin Smith, biological male, strange death circumstances, and that's that.